very much, Professor Lubbers, for these kind words. And thanks to the Foundation for this recognition. It's a great encouragement to the work of Greenpeace. As Professor Lubbers mentioned, while I'm sitting here, 28 of my colleagues are sitting in prison cells in St. Petersburg. They have been detained for now almost 2 months as they went into the Arctic Sea to protest against oil drilling, in this case by the Russian company Gazprom. The reason why Greenpeace is running a campaign against Arctic drilling, which is not only directed against Gazprom, but also against Shell and other oil companies who are looking for oil in the Arctic, is twofold. Firstly, we consider it extremely cynical and highly unethical, as Arctic ice is melting because of global warming, to see this tragic natural event of Arctic melting as a business opportunity and try to get out even more oil. And we consider that this short-term profit-oriented is in direct contradiction with the interest of humanity. We believe that no company should be drilling for oil in the Arctic, and the Arctic should be declared a territory protected of this kind of industrial activity. Secondly, we also want to raise awareness that these companies in no way master the technology to drill for oil safely. You will all remember the catastrophe in the Gulf of Mexico when the Deepwater Horizon platform had an accident, and it was impossible for BP to ever clean this up. And the Gulf of Mexico is a swimming pool compared to the Arctic. Gazprom has already lost one platform just over 2 years ago with a loss of 53 lives. At the time, luckily, the platform was not filled with oil. But it just shows that not only is it highly unethical to keep drilling for oil when the planet and so many countries are trying to find an end to the fossil fuel age and to control dangerous climate change, but also are these companies behaving recklessly. So this is the fate of my colleagues, but of course my colleagues are not the only ones at the moment facing prosecution by powerful companies and their allies in government. Environmentalists, whether they be in business, whether they be in civil society, in academia, or citizens, men and women in the street, face prosecution everywhere where they're asking for more than charity. There was a question, or rather a question was put to the people who will participate in the online course, was saying, what do you do if you apply for a company and you find out that their ethical standards are not compatible with yours? Well, the question is also, what if you're a CEO of a company and you find out that your basic business model is incompatible with these laws of nature? Now, my second reflection is on politics and business. Since we are here in a political environment, and thanks very much to the European Parliament for hosting this. I think it's great that they opened the doors to these kind of civil society and business events. I think it is very important for the business leaders that you are to check what your lobbyists are doing and to check what your competitors' lobbyists are doing, because Greenpeace and other environmental organizations always find that there are great programs on CSR, there are great programs being announced in sort of the public communication of certain companies, but the same companies then pay lobbyists to directly contravene policies that are trying to bring us into a type of economic that is more in tune with the laws of nature. So looking at Mr. Leinen, as you very well know, of course, the EU is now deciding on its 2030 energy targets, and this is a historic moment. I mean, our economies are no longer dependent on fossil fuels. We now have the knowledge and the technology and the means to power our economies, not just in Europe, but worldwide, on renewables and to rapidly increase energy savings. So the dependency is no longer there, but our economies are being kept dependent. And politicians are being told, are being sponsored, are being influenced in order to weaken laws that would end this dependency. So I think any course on ethics in business must include also the relation between ethics and politics. And it is great to have business people talking about business and ethics in Parliament, but when it comes to the decision-making, we need to leave politicians a safe space from any type of financial interest. Thank you very much.